Have you ever waited for that one message, that one call, that one opportunity, and it never came? Have you ever walked out of a room feeling like you gave your best, only to hear the words, "We're sorry, but we've chosen someone else"? Have you ever loved, trusted, or dreamed only to be told, in one way or another, you're not enough? We've all been there. Rejection is one of the hardest pills to swallow. It bruises your ego, shatters your confidence, and whispers in the dark corners of your mind that maybe, just maybe, you don't deserve what you were reaching for. But what if I told you something different? What if rejection isn't meant to destroy you, but to redirect you? What if that painful no was actually the universe's way of saying, you're aiming too low, there's something better waiting ahead? Every one of us has been told no at some point in life. But the greatest tragedy isn't rejection itself, it's allowing that rejection to make you forget your worth. Life will not always hand you what you want, but it will always give you what you need to grow. Sometimes, rejection is not a reflection of your failure, but proof that your path needs to change direction. The moment you stop seeing rejection as a personal attack and start seeing it as divine guidance, your entire mindset shifts. You stop asking, "Why did this happen to me?" and start saying, "What is this teaching me?" Look at the people we admire, the legends, the dreamers, the doers. Every single one of them was once told no. Walt Disney was fired because he supposedly lacked imagination. J.K. Rowling was rejected by 12 publishers before Harry Potter became a phenomenon. Oprah Winfrey was told she was unfit for television. If they had stopped at rejection, the world would have never known their brilliance. They turned their no into a new direction. They took rejection personally for a moment, yes, but then they turned that pain into purpose. They didn't allow rejection to be the full stop of their story. They used it as a comma, a pause before something greater. The truth is, rejection hurts because it touches the most fragile part of us, our self-worth. When you're rejected, you don't just question your skills or abilities. You start questioning yourself. Am I not good enough? Am I not talented enough? Am I not worthy of love, success, or opportunity? But let me say this loud and clear. Your worth is not up for negotiation. Rejection does not define who you are, it only defines where you're not supposed to be. Your value doesn't decrease just because someone else couldn't see it. Their inability to recognize your worth says more about them than it does about you. Some doors are closed not because you're unqualified, but because you're overqualified for what's behind them. You see, rejection is like a redirection signal on the road of life. When one route is blocked, it's not the end of your journey. It's simply an invitation to take another road, one that leads closer to where you're truly meant to be. The problem is that many of us get stuck staring at the closed door, crying over it, begging it to open, when there's an even better one just a few steps ahead. Sometimes life denies you what you want because it's protecting you from what you can't yet see. Rejection can be divine protection. The people who left weren't meant to stay. The jobs that turned you down weren't designed to grow you. The opportunities that slipped away weren't your destiny. They were distractions. And yet, in the heat of the moment, rejection feels cruel. It feels like failure. It makes you doubt everything. But the truth is, rejection is a teacher disguised as pain. It humbles you, strengthens you, and redirects you. It builds resilience. The people who never faced rejection rarely develop the strength to handle success. Because success, real success, requires thick skin. You can't soar if you crumble at every closed door. Rejection refines you the same way fire refines gold, by burning away what doesn't belong. I remember hearing about a young man who applied to dozens of companies and got rejected by every single one. He could have given up, but he chose to learn. He studied harder, improved his skills, and years later, started his own business. Ironically, some of the same companies that once rejected him became his clients. That's the power of turning rejection into direction. When you stop chasing validation and start building value, you become unstoppable. When they close the door, don't beg to be let in, build your own. Rejection is not a wall, it's a detour sign pointing you toward your real purpose. Even in relationships, rejection serves a purpose. Sometimes, that person who left wasn't meant to complete your story, they were meant to teach you a chapter. You may not understand it at first, but years later, you look back and realize that losing them was the best thing that ever happened to you. Because what is meant for you will never require you to shrink yourself to fit. Rejection in love, friendship, or opportunity is simply life saying, you deserve better than this. Don't chase what walked away. Don't cling to what's not aligned. What's yours won't need convincing. Turning rejection into direction means shifting your mindset. It means saying, okay, this didn't work. What's next? It's learning to see rejection not as a sign of inadequacy, but as a signal for growth. Feel the pain, yes, but don't live in it. Cry if you must, but don't stay stuck there. When one door closes, take a deep breath and say, this is not my end, it's my redirection. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? What can I do differently? Where else can I go? Because sometimes, rejection is not closing you off, it's clearing your path. Remember Jack Ma, the founder of Alibaba? He applied to Harvard 10 times and was rejected every single time. He was rejected by countless employers, including KFC. But he didn't let rejection define him. He used it to fuel his vision. Years later, he became one of the most successful entrepreneurs in the world. If he had been accepted into those jobs, he might have lived an ordinary life. But rejection pushed him toward his destiny. That's the lesson. Rejection isn't a setback. It's a setup for something greater. In your own life, you've faced rejections too, from people, from jobs, from dreams. But look at where you are now. You've survived every closed door. You've made it through every disappointment. You've grown in ways you probably didn't even notice. Every rejection you've faced shaped you into who you are right now. You've become wiser, stronger, and more focused. That's not failure, that's growth. Sometimes you don't get what you want because you're being prepared for what you deserve. Rejection is also spiritual. Sometimes God or fate removes people or opportunities because they're not aligned with your future. You may not understand it in the moment, but there's protection in rejection. God saw conversations you didn't hear, plans you didn't know, and intentions you couldn't see. So he blocked it. Because some things you think you want would destroy you if you got them too early. That's why you must trust the timing of your life. Every no you receive could be a divine not yet. When you start seeing rejection as redirection, your mindset changes completely. You no longer fear closed doors. You start appreciating them. You realize that life isn't taking from you, it's guiding you. The relationship that ended made room for a healthier one. The job that said no gave you time to build your own dream. The friend who walked away created space for peace. Rejection is not always punishment. Sometimes it's preparation. It's pushing you toward the next level of your evolution. But here's the key. Don't let rejection silence you. Let it motivate you. When they tell you no, don't collapse, get creative. Use that energy to work harder, dream bolder, and prove that their rejection didn't define your limits. Michael Jordan, one of the greatest basketball players in history, was cut from his high school team. Instead of quitting, he trained harder. He used rejection as fuel. That's why he once said, "I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. But that's why I succeed." His greatness was born from his ability to turn pain into progress. You, too, can do the same. Every rejection is an opportunity in disguise. It's the universe saying, there's a better direction for you. So stop seeing rejection as failure and start seeing it as feedback. It's not saying you can't, it's saying not this way. Life isn't pushing you back, it's pushing you forward, just in a different direction. The doors that close are not the end of your path, they're redirections to something better. The jobs you didn't get, the people who didn't choose you, the plans that fell apart, they were all shaping your story. When you understand that, peace replaces frustration. You begin to realize that rejection doesn't have to break you. It can build you, sharpen you, and prepare you. One day, you'll look back and say, thank God that door didn't open. Because if it had, you might have missed the door that was truly meant for you. So, the next time you hear no, don't let it kill your spirit. Let it spark your fight.